Hello, my name is Ti-Jana St.Hill, graduate of the Barbados YouthADVANCE Corps, Cohort 6. I interned at the Psychiatric Hospital.
My name is Nicole Dawson, and I am the personnel officer here at the Psychiatric Hospital.
Honestly, I didn't have any expectations, but I was truly excited to be in a new environment and to experience new things. The experience was, it was pretty good. It was interesting, and I learned a lot from it.
For me, the interns came with little to no knowledge, but they had the enthusiasm and the willingness to learn. I would have found that they were inexperienced, as some of them, this would have been their first job attachments. However, they were willing to grasp with two hands and take all the information given, and I found that that was great for them.
One skill that I was able to learn was basic computing skills, like using a printer. Before I didn't had the knowledge as to how to use a printer or how to scan, but I was able to leave here with that information.
I would say the girls brought not only a willingness, but they were fast learners, and they received any criticism given positively. So if areas where we were teaching them the basic office skills, like the same scanning, the emailing, the filing, and stuff like that, they would not have gotten it in the first try. But as we did the corrections and we went back over basic steps, they were able to grasp those concepts, and they were more confident in their roles, and they were able to perform more effectively for us. What we see is that with the interns coming in, they are locked into a technological age, and they're not physically equipped to deal with the real world stuff. So basic things like ripping paper with rulers, answering the phones with dial touch, simple basic office skills, they don't have those natural skills. And then you have to get them more confident in their actual being, because not only can they hide behind the cellular phones and the devices, they have to be in the real world amongst real people. So when they're given these opportunities, they can now deal with real people, real issues. And in a hospital, like a psychiatric hospital, we have so many different mechanisms working together. So the girls were able to work along with us and shadow and see how things were. And this would be a great stepping stone for them, as they were able to see all the basic steps from scanning, doing the emailing, seeing how the registry works, understanding the computer basics, seeing how we deal with issues, disturbances, everything. I would have carried the girls through a simulation as we restructured the registry. And the simulation called for them to understand how it worked and to also assist with the processes. What I would have found is that as I explained certain things to the girls, I would have also done the simulation along with them. And I found that within the week, when we were doing the simulation, that they were able to understand how this most dynamic part of the hospital works. And for me, for girls that came in who did not understand how to use a printer, how to use certain things in the office, to master skills like that, writing up a book and seeing certain things from them. And it's not only in the way the work was presented, because they had great organizational skills, because within the registry, we fill things differently in terms of the personal files, the leave files. We have also things like the resumption of duties, and they understood. And when there were instances where they didn't understand, they came to me willingly to answer the question, well, how is this supposed to be done? Is this done correctly? Did I do it correctly? And I mean, it was a great change to see how they were improving step by step.
I would be around people who are challenged in different ways. But as I told Miss Giddings, I told her that we are in an environment where people are only humans like us, so they are supposed to be treated with the same respect that you would show any other buddy, because it could be any of us within these walls at any point in time. So I think it's a really important role to society when it comes to mental health as well. And it's something that should be taken a lot more serious when it comes to the youth. Based on my experience with BYAC, it's a great opportunity, whether it be job attachment or just skills of itself, because there are many opportunities you are given. And if I was given this opportunity over again, I would take it before a dog.
I would encourage any entity, any organizations to give the youth a chance. A lot of persons, as we get older, as we become ourselves, our true selves, we find our identity, we find that they aren't given the opportunity. So with job attachments, placement is easier, they get a little more exposure, and then it's easier for some of them to actually decide what they want to do. Because at a young age, children don't know what they want to be. Oh, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer. And when you expose them to different experiences and different organizations and different cultures, they can find a niche for something that they like. They can find their true talent, their true being. And once organizations are willing to give them a chance, I find that they can grow. So I would really encourage persons to give them a chance. If it's 2 weeks, 5 weeks, give them a chance to see how you operate. Give them a chance to give their input, because they have some brilliant ideas. Because like I said, they're from a technological age, and as we get older, we are outdated. We are almost antiquated. But with these young minds coming up, as we incorporate them into our structures and stuff, I find that they too can also impart knowledge onto us. So I would encourage people to give them a chance.